Hello, this is Camille with Hazel Soapery, www.hazelsoapery.com. And today we are talking about soap, bar soap specifically, and the different types of soap that we make. So when you're going to the farmer's market, especially, or events or craft shows, especially if you're new to buying handcrafted soap, you may not know that there are different ways that we make the soap. There's 3 different ways. One of the things that they all have in common, and a question we often get, is, does this soap contain lye? Natural and handcrafted soaps, by definition, are created using sodium hydroxide, which is lye. So are bagels, so are grits. However, by the time we get finished making the soap, all of the caustic nature of the sodium hydroxide has been what we call saponified and no longer there, so it's safe. Part 2, there are 3 different types of soaps that I'm going to talk about. I am not going to say that one is superior to the other, because they are not. They are just different ways of making the soap. So the first way is melt and pour. Melt and pour soap is typically made by purchasing a already saponified block of soap. The person who then purchases it will melt down the soap. They will add colors, they will add essential oils, fragrance oils, and they usually make a very artistic, beautiful bar of soap. What they don't do is start, well, some makers do. Typically what doesn't happen is they don't start at the beginning of the process of creating a recipe, mixing the oils, mixing the sodium hydroxide or lye water, and those types of things. At the end of the day, it is soap, and they make beautiful and creative bars. So if you hear a maker say, I make melt and pour, that's what they're referring to. Cold process is the second type. With cold process soap making, they start with a recipe at the very beginning. They will then go through adding all the oils, all the ingredients, all the additives, fragrance, everything, and creating a bar of soap. Those bars will typically can have vivid colors, very pretty designs as well. Awesome bar of soap. Everything is added into the pot at one time. The third and final type is what I make, which is hot process soap. With hot process soap, we begin the same way, putting the oils and sodium hydroxide solution together to start the saponification process, and we cook it through. We have an external heating element that will speed through the process. So our curing time is a little bit shorter than with cold process soap. The difference is kind of like cooking and baking. So cold process soap is going to be your baking. Hot process soap is going to be cooking. We want to get it done. We want to get it done. When we're finished, we want the soap to be done. The other difference is that those soaps will typically have the additives. So your clays, your fragrances, your oils, botanicals, all of those things done after the saponification process is over. So after the cook. For you, what that means is a lot of those properties of those ingredients are still at the top, kind of like the frosting on a cake, as opposed to being cooked in at the same time. Typically, people will say that hot process bars appear more rustic. So they do have designs. You can make colors and all of those, mix colors and all of those things, but they tend to have a more muted tone as well. Again, I just wanted to give you an idea of what soapers are saying to you when we say, oh, I make hot process soap or cold process soap or melt and pour. Just so as you're a consumer, you can be educated and have a conversation with them about differences in a process that they may have, or what their preference, why they chose that way, and how it'll affect you that way as well. And the next time you go out to shop, you can say, you know, I had that melt and pour bar, and I preferred it over the cold process or the hot process. It'll give you an idea of what to look for. So I hope this helps someone. Leave me some comments and questions below, and have a great evening. Again, this is Camille with Hazel Soapery, www.hazelsoapery.com.